Hello, I'm Lucas, and today with a very fast and hopefully fast and very easy little After Effects tutorial on sky replacement with a little technique I came across which is very good for blown out skies to replace them, but not really replace them, but to enhance them. Let's call it an enhancement. And I just wanted to do this really quick for a friend, so don't expect it to be more glamorous or something. I'm actually in my nightshirt because it's pretty late here and I was going to bed, but now I will record this tutorial. So let's stop wasting some time and let's get into it. So now we are in After Effects. This will work in nearly any version I know of, so don't worry if you have an older version. First thing we want to do before we start, which you should do anyway in every After Effects project, is to set this to at least 16-bit. You can click down here. At a standard, this is at default, this is 8-bit, but now we will just work on 16-bit or 32-bit, just as you like. I will use 16-bit here, and you should really do this because we will do a bit with channels. So now, I have some different footage here, and for this tutorial I would like to use this footage. This is from my film Sad Lonely Lucas Part 3. And we have this really blown out sky. It doesn't look that good. And I simply wanted to enhance this sky a bit, this blown out sky. Yeah, and let's get started with it. It's pretty easy actually. So this is a tripod shot, so no tracking is involved for this one. What we do now is we duplicate the layer, the base layer, and we get an effect called Colorama. Colorama is a pretty simple effect. Just has an output cycle. This is what we want. Do we have more options, but we want only the output cycle. And Colorama maps color values from here starts black and it goes all over gray to white, and it maps different colors to dedicated luma values, just like a false color option would do in a monitor. And now we want to set this to ramp gray, and click anywhere in the circle. Then you can make a new little color here. And what we want to do now is get most of the image except for the sky black. We don't have to do this for the whole image. You don't have to crunch it like there's nothing else there in the image, because the problem is then we can change or we can hurt the edges of this matte. So what we do is to preserve the edge a bit, just like that maybe. And when we have some things left down here, this isn't a big problem because we don't use this part of the matte anyway. So this is the matte we have now. Black goes away and white stays. And now we will get a new solid. We can get this little window by pressing Control and Y or on the PC and Command and Y on the Macintosh, or you could go under Layer, New, and Solid. And now we have this little blow solid down here. Now we get here under the point track matte. When you don't have this option available, you might want to check out these buttons down here because these can disable the track matte. And we'll set the track matte to luma matte. So basically white stays and black goes away. So this is what we get, and you can see it pretty fast. This looks really fake and doesn't look good. And this is the common problem with sky replacements, because many people just want to replace the whole sky at all. So you can get something like this, where you have a sky texture and simply drag it in here and key this out, and this just looks ridiculous fake, and I wouldn't recommend doing it like this. So what we want to do is we want to use this little layer still, and we'd use the masking tools. We use this, the rectangle tool. You can also use the pen tool if you like. I just use the rectangle tool here. Make a big shape around half the of the window, or of the sky in this case. Now we hit this layer and hit the button F. Or you can go through the mask and get the feather options. And let's set this to maybe 300 pixels. Or maybe even a bit more, depending on the shot you have. And now we can, with the arrow selected, we can double click a point and then we can move the whole mask. And now we can see what we get. And actually, this is it. This is the very simple technique. You have more of a subtle sky, and can get away with this pretty easily. And I have some other footage to work with to show you what I mean, like this one. And we will do it again, just that easy. We duplicate the layer, we add a colorama effect, get the output cycle, get the ramp gray, add a black point. We don't care too much about the water down here, and don't care too much about the clouds because they may stay in this case. So we get it like this. Make a new solid in a blue color, get this to Luma Matte, get this little guy selected like this, hit F, set it to maybe 400 pixels. You can set the feather as you like. And again, we have used the matte to key out every building we have there, and have a little decent sky on top. And this doesn't look fake at all. Of course, it doesn't look hyper realistic, but it doesn't look that fake. And of course, what you could also do is just get the sky texture in here. I will deactivate this for now. Place it where you want, maybe. Sorry. Place it like this, maybe, if you like. And the important thing still is, because you don't have perfect edges, you can use the masking tool again, get it to the half from the downside, then set it here to subtract, so it gets away. Hit F, maybe to 400 pixels again, and we can of course use a sky texture too. I would maybe, depending on the color of the sky, when the sky is pretty dark, make the feather a bit bigger, so it doesn't look that fake. The sky cannot look that dark saturated when everything else isn't that dark and saturated. This simply just looks unrealistic. So just try to keep it realistically. When you do it like this, which is totally okay, you have to keep in mind that when the shot moves like this one, you might have to track the footage, because with the clouds in the image, you can really tell that it's fake. And with a simple little solid, you don't need it to make it that precise. You can also simply animate the mask so it fits to the whole shot, but it doesn't have to be perfect, because this is so subtle that you won't maybe recognize this. One problem that you can come across is what I showed you before, are these little white halos. And this is a little bit more in-depth, so I will really try to show it to you very fast what you can do about these. So basically, this is when you crush the mask really much, you produce these little white edges. And when you decrease the crushing, you get less of a white edge. But then your buildings like this one or this one, this especially, will not be that good keyed out. So you might want to keep it to a certain level. So in this case, we have it like this. We have a subtle white line out there. Maybe it's a bit more, but in this case it's subtle. What we do is we have this layer and we pre-compose this. We do this by cutting composition. No, it's layer, and down here you cannot see this right now. It's pre-compose. We say move all attributes. Then we hit an effect called set matte. And set matte is basically an effect that allows us to use any channel from this footage as an alpha channel. And for now we want to use the luminance as a native alpha channel. So in this case we really have the footage with alpha channel and not only a black and white image. This is important for this type of effect. So now we pre-compose this again. Also move all attributes. And then we get something called a simple choker. You can also use an effect called matte choker, but the simple choker is, as the name says, much simpler, so I will use this by now. And with the simple choker, you simply can drag out or in a mask, so you can get better results for your effect. In this case, we would cramp it in a bit, of course. Without, it looks a little bit more ridiculous, but you can cramp it in a bit, and maybe we can use something like a fast blur, so you can maybe get something like a glow from this, so you have something like an HDR look if you're after that. So this is totally also very fast, and yeah, but basically I wouldn't do it that much. And what we have simply is a graduated blue image above or blown out sky, but therefore it doesn't look that fake. It's, I think, a very simple, subtle, and usable effect, and yeah.
So yeah, that's it. Hopefully this is somehow useful for you and you could use it in some of your own work. I think this technique is pretty cool because it's really fast and looks quite convincing, and you can enhance this, of course, with some other textures or something. And yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you liked it, and yeah, see you next time. And then I have a bit more on than this shirt, and so yeah, bye.